All right, thank you so much to those who are still tuning in to the show. I'm seeing here on Facebook. Remember, we are streaming live on KUTV Kenya. Go there and give me, your feedback, and also on Twitter and any other social media platforms. I am at Richard_Okenya. We just had a very nice conversation here with one of the founders, of course, one of the team members of at Payland, and giving us the various means they are ensuring that you're getting secure and constant access to credit, to pay bills, and also to shop as well. So check out the various products that they have: Okoa Shopping, Okoa Kilimo. The one that I really like the most is Okoa Bills, which will become very useful to as payment of rent, water, and other facilities that are quite a problem, especially right around this time. The cost of living is going high. You might need to get yourself a credit to access some of these products, whose prices are going up. A very good thing about them is the interest rates as well. Some of the lowest that are there, 2 to 10% interest rates up to 60 days, and late repayment gives you just 10% of loans on 10% on the loans that have been issued. So that is still lower than what you get in most of what we already are aware of. And now credit facilities are becoming quite a thing in Kenya, and that is awesome to see, especially since we are still a rich market of over 1 billion in Africa and 40 million untapped in Kenya. So check out payland.africa and tell me what you think on social media. Coming up next is a conversation still on technology and the digitization of services. Digitization of library services over at Kenyatta University Postmodern Library. A conversation we had last week with some of the key librarians there, telling us how this is going to solve the issue of access to information that is in the library. Something that you can do on real time from your phone or your laptop. So behind the scenes, I'm sitting down with one man, Edward Safari, who is the system librarian over at Kenyatta University, and to tell me the tech and the process behind this digitization and how that is making things run effectively and smooth for the postmodern library. So don't go too far. Please do tune in for this conversation coming up right about now. Kenyatta University Library Services. Of course, the conversation I've said we are having here, and we already did have that last week. If you missed out, do check out KUTV Kenya on YouTube, where we'll be uploading that kind of interview that we had just a week ago. Now, information management centers are really, heavily rely on ICT, and ICT is important in acquiring, storing, processing, giving out this information. How is the security? How is the setup? How does it look like? How do you get to access this? Is a conversation I'm having with Mr. Safari. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
How have you been?
I'm good.
Right.
Yes.
AG Systems Librarian.
Yes.
Tell us your role and what that means and how that comes with this process of digitization that is currently happening through the open source softwares that you're using at the library.
Okay. I'm Edward Safari, the system librarian at Kenyatta University. So as a system librarian, I'm in charge of maintaining, installing, and general management of the whole systems, the library system. So the major system that we have in the library, we have the library management system, that is KOHA. Then we have the institution repository, that is for archiving the thesis or the output.
All right.
Yes.
And these are things that you have been, taking care of as a system librarian.
Yes,
right?
That's what I do.
Let's begin with the push to digitization. What pushed the Kenyatta University Postmodern Library to go way postmodern again with digitization?
Okay. Currently, as in you can see the trend in the world as the technology is going. We are even pushed things like library management. Previously, like the old traditional method, where if you had to go to the library in order to borrow a book. Maybe you could go to a library, you get there's a book, and you are given a card, a hard physical card, so that when you borrow a book, they write there that you have borrowed this book.
So you don't run away with
Yes. So the whole process was hectic, and if that card get lost, you lose the books or that information of the people who have borrowed. But now, the moment we implemented the library management system and we pulled all the students' record from the campus view into Koha, it is easier to track who has borrowed book, who has borrowed which book. If you have overstayed with the book, there's an overdue fine that you will be charged. So it has made lending easier. And I think in future, we are thinking about doing the self-checkout, whereby you don't need a staff maybe at the circulation desk to issue you with a book. Yes, you go to the shelf, pick a book,
check it out
you
online.
check it out, not in the library, but just yourself.
Or self-checkout physically in the library.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That is a really great move.
Returning the book, same way. If you have a fine, there will be a pay bill. You just pay online without interaction with staff. Yes.
Right. This really helps, smoothen that process. And I'm
Yes.
understanding that I can get, a list of the resources over there at the library as well. Let's speak maybe a little bit about the repository and Koha, which is mainly what has some of these other services that I see here, like the card and also tourism crisis management information system. What kind of information is spread out through these different services?
Now for repository, they normally use a software called the DSpace, and it's the one that runs Koha, the card, and the tourism hub. Now DSpace is for repository software, mostly for archiving. You see, previously, maybe when people had done their thesis, the master thesis, you could go to the library, you get there's a whole floor, shelves
With the thesis.
full of thesis.
Yeah.
But since we started digitizing, you don't need to go to the shelf. That material you can access online on the repository. So this space allows you to have access to it. And again, it notifies you. Maybe if you register on that platform, it can notify you that in this collection, a new thesis has been added. Yes, so any update on the system, maybe there is a new material. Yes,
Right.
you get a notification.
Right.
Yes.
DeepSpace is open source software. What does open source software means, and how does DeepSpace work behind the space?
Open source software, it's software you can go to the internet, get it, it's there, free of charge. You don't pay anything. The only thing you do is you get the software, you can customize it to suit your need. You can use it to do maybe content management, you can use it for archiving purposes. Now, the open source, the software is there. If even you go to the internet, you'll see there's Koha, there's DSpace, and it's around 30 MB. It's a small file.
Oh, just a few
But
MBs.
now, yes, but when you get that file, before you can use it, I can give you Koha or DSpace in a flash disk, but you can't use it.
Why? Why is that? Because I don't know how to use it?
Not because you don't know how to use it. There's something, how that system is supposed to be set up. Now, there's something called now the capacity to handle the system. That system has requirements. Maybe if I talk about how that system is set up.
Definitely. I'd
Yes.
love to hear.
All the open source software that we have, they both run on Linux. So you can't install it on
On
Windows
or macOS.
It can run on Mac, but you can see like the Linux things like Ubuntu, Debian, they're also open source operating
software.
system.
Yes.
So we are just going to open
Making sure
source.
everything
Is open. Yes, so that we can customize, you can do anything without it. So the moment you have Linux on your computer, you can install some things called web servers, then you install a database. After that, now you can set up your Koha system.
Right.
So that part of setting up, now that is a technical part, which is also challenging to some people. And in a case, you can find that there are some institution, maybe they still don't have the systems. The reason being, they need servers. They are very expensive. And when you are installing these systems, you need internet connection throughout. So internet connection, then you have to be assigned a public IP, so that your material resources can be accessible outside. Yes, worldwide.
You've mentioned that it is a bit technical, and that you could give someone that in a flash, they put it, but when it comes to customization, installation, and all of that, it's a bit challenging.
They require somebody with the knowledge.
Somebody like you.
Yeah, somebody like me.
So, Kenyatta University, how is it able to navigate this problem? I'm guessing definitely through you, but maybe expound more on how you were able to ensure that Kenyatta University doesn't have that challenge of technical difficulty.
One, you see, with the technology, again, it's something growing and it changes every now and then. So one thing, you have to keep yourself updated. Yes, you check new trends, what is going on. Changes normally happens with systems. For example, even your laptop here, you can hear like right now, Windows 7 is being phased out.
Right.
Yes.
And it's the one you have, so you have to move forward.
Yes. And maybe you are not conversant with using, let's say, Windows 8 or 10.
Right.
But if you remain with 7, you see now it will reach a time where you'll be forced to move. There are some programs you want to use, but they won't run on 7. You need to upgrade. So the same thing goes to with Koha, DSpace, with all our institutions. We keep updating every now and then. And mostly even updating is to do with also the system security. You see, mostly in this technology, there are also hackers. Yes.
Right.
People are there.
And that is a security issue. I want us to get to that security issue. However, still on the technical capabilities, Kenyatta University, apart from you, I'm guessing there's also another team of technical guys who are really well versed in Koha and DSpace.
Yes, they are. And you can see now from the library, I depend also with the directorate. You see, there's a department in the university, the ICT directorate, which now they do the network infrastructure. They're the one now handling the server. They give you the server space, you do your installation, but the infrastructure, it belongs to them. Right. So get the support from them. Of course, the internet, it comes from them. So let's say we work together.
We work together like that.
Yes, we work together.
That is a great technical capability.
Yes.
Is there a difference between Koha and DSpace, or any noticeable difference? Where does Koha apply and doesn't, and DSpace apply and doesn't?
DSpace, its work is for archiving, keeping records instead of keeping the thesis or records in the shelves.
Randomly.
They are stored on a server, so it gives you access online. Koha, it's a library management system.
Oh, okay.
That's where we catalog the moment the library purchases books. Those books are cataloged into the system. So that when you go to the library, we go to the OPAC. That is the library catalog. You search for a book. It shows you where that book is located on the shelf. Then you can go and retrieve that physical book. Then you can check it out.
Nice.
Yes.
The other thing I've seen that you also do in cataloging is registering the laptops of students.
Yes.
When I was a student here at Kenyatta University, is an issue of a laptop and the library. When you get to the laptop and when you get to the library entrance, you have to physically register the serial number, and then when you're checking it out, they have have to check the back of the laptop and see if you're living with the same laptop that you went in with. But now you're having this integrated in the registration. How does it work?
Now, it's also the issue with theft. That's what brought about the issue of laptop registration. And I think up to now it has assisted the whole university. I think every staff in the university student are being requested to come to the library to register their laptop. So laptop registration, that system is also KOHA, but an independent one. So as I had said earlier, KOHA is an open source software. You take that software, then you customize it to suit your need. So you see, KOHA, it has that potential for doing the management of the library. Now this one, we customize it. Doesn't has to do anything with books, but laptops. So when a student comes to the library, you get registered. When you are leaving, they check to confirm that laptops matches with the student, the registration number. Because now a number of times, you see, you lost your laptop, maybe the person who stole it still kauzia mwanafunzi mwingine. Yes,
so
that student still comes to the library to register. Then the moment you try to register a laptop that has already been registered,
we realize it's not yours.
Yes, there's a pop-up saying this laptop, it was reported
so
lost.
Security as well.
We give it to the security, and a lot of laptop have been
recovered in
that manner. And even to the extent that they take the student maybe bought a laptop somewhere in KM or in town.
So we also find out where is that.
They go and maybe now they confiscate
a lot more,
10 laptops, and when they bring it, we find that they belong to students here. Yes, and some students, we have called them, even those who have cleared, tell them we had lost a laptop, we have it. Yes,
that is great. The capabilities of KOHA and customization. Now, security, which we had started already diving into. How do you ensure that the information on all these platforms, what is keyed in, what is stored there, is not tampered with? As you said, there are hackers who might just come and corrupt all the information, or infuse their own viruses and all of that. How have you ensured that security is top notch with all the theses, what to make, all the data basically?
Yeah. First of all, we do backups daily. Every day we have a backup, so that in case of information, maybe you see there are hackers who can just come and crash your system without stealing any information. Yes, so we have backup of all our systems in a safe place. Yes. Then apart from that, also have firewalls. Firewalls, normally it's a system that prevents intruders or people who are not authorized to access the system. Yes, there are systems in place, like there are things called intrusion detection. Yes, so that you get notified. For example, let me use example of KOHA. When we log into KOHA itself, it has two interfaces. There's the staff interface, now for keying in data, checking out, clearing fines, and there's the student interface where you go to the maktaba, you see the news that has been posted there, you can search for the catalog to see what books is there. So there are two interfaces. These two interfaces, the student interface, anybody can access from even outside. Yes, but for the staff interface, it has been restricted. Yes, mostly the authorized IPs maybe are just in the library itself. So in case we detect that a different IP from the library is trying to access now the staff interface, automatically it blocks the IP until maybe now that somebody says it is me. Yes. And I'm trying to access it from home, I'm trying to do this and that. Yes,
that is great. Those are great ways to ensure that the information kept there is safe, right? And also whoever is a master student in Kenyatta University is sure that they can get their material still way after they've put it up there. And now, to ensure that there is evolution, as you said, things keep changing, right? There's always something new that is coming up, especially in the world of IT in general. Things are evolving, innovation is happening every day. how are you keeping yourself, you as the part of the technical team over there, how are you keeping sure that everyone else is also updated? The librarians, all of us are getting this knowledge that the library is digital now,
Yes.
but now the staff as well. How do you keep all of them also updated with how the current trends are, even if they're not interested in matters of IT?
Yeah, even if they are not interested, we normally have small trainings. Yes. We change from system to system. Previously, we had a different version of Koha. We upgraded it to a different version. Then we also realized we integrated it with the campus view for student data. So you still have to train the staff and enlighten them that we have made this and that, these changes. These are what is going to happen. If now it's issue with the operating system, the computers that we get nowadays, the new ones, you can't install Windows 7. If somebody says he only knows how to use Windows 7, you show him how to use Windows 8 and 10.
Yeah.
So there are those trends that you have to keep updating them. And then the issue with also the books. You see, nowadays people are running away from the physical books, moving to e-books.
Right.
Yeah. You see, there are some books which maybe, for example, it's on high demand. Yes, maybe there are 5 copies. So, and there is a class of 50 students. You see, now sharing that book
becomes a problem.
Yes. But the moment you have an e-book, even just a copy, it can be accessed by the all 50. Yes, without the issue of saying there's a deadline, you need to return this book. There's no that issue.
Because it's an e-book, something that you can access right from your
online.
Right.
Yes.
Great. And that is how they are doing it over there at Kenyatta University Postmodern Library. Of course, ensuring that we are going digital, keeping things safe, and getting access as easily as you can from home or from anywhere. If you're a student, staff, and also the repository, as they said, that can be accessed by anyone else who is not a student or staff. Just one last maybe thing that we can look at is how can people get to I know we've been speaking about the technical aspects, maybe to direct them so that they can check it out, see how it runs. If they have something they want to suggest, they want to add it, so that we can direct it to you, alafu mtafanya hizo changes. Yeah. So if students want to access the library online or the journals and the theses, all the information basically, how do they go about it?
Mostly we have one central place where if you go there, you'll get access to all the materials. That is maktaba.ku.ac.ke. Yes. If the students go to that site, it has links to all the system. There's a library website. If you just scroll on it, you will see all the links, the repository, journals, everything is there, even to the off-campus. Right. Yes, the system will be there. You can access it from that point. Right. Yes, and in case they have inquiries, we have emails where they can send. Still, when you go to that Maktaba platform, there is also a chat platform where they can chat with staff real time. Yes.
All right. So there's a chat platform.
Yes.
That's new, because I don't get to see that a lot in library services or such kind of online digitized libraries or journals as well. Maybe if I can get to see who is here, but before I get to look at that, definitely make sure that you're checking out, as we said, the interview that we did last week. I've been made aware that it's already out on YouTube, so go check that out and see how what are the different resources that you can get to access and how to access them. But that Mr. Safari tells me is how they ensure that they keep it safe over there, and how they've built out the whole process. DSpace and Core open source software that they've used, customized to get you access to those resources by the library. Asante sana for coming through, and maybe anything that I've left, final remarks, and maybe to thank the team that has helped you guys get to this. On that camera, you can kick it off.
I think okay, what I can say about the library, it's capable, and we have, I think, let me call it there's a best team there and working very high to make that students and the library staff and all staff in KUT General have access to materials 24/7. So there's no downtime. Maybe you say that we have challenges, you can't access our resources. The materials are there. The systems are also there working well. So students, they should feel free if they have an issue. We have the online platform where we can chat. There's a Facebook account, there's a Twitter, and also there's an email. All that information, they can get it on the library website or on the Maktaba platform. I think I've given you the URL, maktaba.ku.ac.ke. So from there, they can engage us and there will be staff ready to assist them.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Edward Safari, of course, coming through to us to give us that information, the technical aspects of the Kenyatta University Postmodern Library, digitized services that have been done there. So I'm going to take a short break here. Biashara Tuesday is still on air. Make sure you're giving me your feedback, any questions that you might have, and how to access. If you have not had anything that, if you had anything that is not so clear, I'd be happy to answer you. What I've understood, what I haven't, I'll pass it over to Mr. Edward, and then we'll give you that necessary information. So don't go too far. Hashtag Biashara Tuesday still on air.
Digitization.